You know, a lot of people are having trouble wrapping their heads around the increasingly radical and transformative opinions of the American electorate, especially the young electorate. And when I say people have a hard time wrapping themselves around the implications of the polling data, that includes pollsters. I'm still kind of chuckling over this sentence from Gallup, which has been doing very interesting polling on this topic. So I compliment them on their polling, but I'm chuckling over this phrasing. Let me read you the sentence, okay? Quote, Americans aged 18 to 29 are as positive about socialism, and then 51%, as they are about capitalism, 45%. What's wrong with that sentence? Of course, what's wrong with it is that they're saying they're as positive. In other words, they're saying, you know, it's about the same when one, the support for socialism is 51%, and the other, support for capitalism, is 45%. That's a 6-point gap in polling that normally has a 3-point margin of error. So they are more, these young people are more supportive of socialism than capitalism. Even more significantly, as Gallup points out, that is, quote, a 12-point decline in young adults' positive views of capitalism in just the past 2 years. I'll repeat that, 12-point decline in young adults' positive views of capitalism in just the past 2 years, they go on to say, and it's a marked shift since 2010, when 68% of young adults viewed capitalism positively. So capitalism, the brand, is tanking among young people, which I think is an optimistic sign that people are willing to, especially the coming generation of voters, if they retain these views, will be willing to entertain alternatives to the profit-making system of corporate sociopathy that is destroying the planet on which we live and destroying the lives of many people struggling to get by economically. Now, this isn't just fringe thinking. As Axios, the political newsletter, points out, a lot of people who are very much part of the system are writing phrases, they call them mainstream thinkers, you might call them establishment if you're so inclined, are writing pieces like, and making statements like, we must rethink the purpose of the corporation and the crisis of democratic socialism. Both of those come from Martin Wolf, who's a columnist for the Financial Times, who's been on this program and is actually a really good, excellent financial journalist, but by no means a fringe lefty of any kind. But he just gets it, which is that the current system is not working for people. Axios goes on to quote a lot of other folks who are thinking this way and saying these things from establishment organs, if you will, like the Financial Times. They also point out what we talk about on this program all the time: 4 decades of flat wages for most workers, productivity gains that even when they happen, they're often meager, but even when they happen, go to the top and not to everyone. A lot of other weak signs in the economy. And if you believe Richard Wolff, the economist, who's a very smart guy who is on this week's program, also means we're facing another recession. If that happens soon, things could get that much worse. So I guess the point is this: the system is broken. That's the bad news. The good news is more and more people are looking for an alternative to that system, something we'll be exploring in the months and in the year to come.